Hello, guys. Welcome to Global Happenings. Today we have a trending news here for you. And the headline of the news reads Black Tuesday in Aso Rock as many staff test positive. But before we go on with details of the news and for the analysis, we'd like to encourage you to please subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button and also on the bell icon so that you can get notification anytime we publish videos on our channel. All right, let's look at the news in detail. 3 officials in the office of the Chief of Staff to the President, Abba Kyari, have reportedly tested positive to the novel coronavirus COVID-19. A presidential source confirmed the development. Efforts to reach presidential spokesperson to confirm most of the development within the State House on Tuesday were unsuccessful, as neither the special advisor and the senior special assistant to the president on media and publicity, Mr. Femi Adesina and Malam Garba Shehu, respectively, was seen within the premises. However, when reached earlier in the day, Malam Shehu did not pick the call but put across to him, but responded to a telephone text message sent to him saying, "Sorry, I can't talk right now." Meanwhile, a presidential source who sought anonymity confirmed that all persons suspected to have been exposed to Chief of Staff to the President have been advised to self-isolate. He added that the advice might be responsible for why many people who were expected to be at work were unavailable, adding that the advice self-isolate had commenced in earnest. Meanwhile, most of the aides at the vice president's wing, with the exemption of his media aide, did not turn up for work. A source said the VP reported late to work on Monday afternoon, unlike him. It should be noted that the State House is on a gradual lockdown as non-essential staff have been asked to stay away. Wow, this is mind-blowing, and this is really unbelievable. I will say that COVID-19 or coronavirus is actually taking the diffusion method. Diffusion, what we were told when we were in secondary school, it's movement of air or gas from the higher concentration to the lower concentration. And I think that's really what is happening right down in Nigeria, because we're expecting that much of it will be felt from the bottom. Reports will be coming in that there are a lot of casualties in the locals, like in the villages and towns where there are really no good medical facilities. But unfortunately, it's happening right on top there. We're expecting that, okay, if it's really not going to be starting from up there, it will start from the middle class. But what we are saying, it's right up there. And we all know the reason why it's happening this way. These are the people who are being privileged to travel all around the world. They have the privilege of entering the nooks and crannies. Imagine, as I'm talking to you, more than 10 of our senators have already been infected, with one dead, though it's not been traced to COVID-19. And then we also have about 15 of the House of Rep members who are also down in health. And most of, if you look at the age range of those people, now the presidency, we thought maybe that side there will be a lockdown and nothing like that will enter that side. But unfortunately, this guy who has been running around for the president, according to the information that we've gotten from different sources, we heard that he actually went to Germany to talk on the issue of electricity, bringing electricity to Nigeria and all of that, trying to sort out the issue of electricity. But unfortunately, he did not come out back with good reports. What he came back with was actually COVID-19. For me, my heart goes to him right now, because I know it's really going to crack him. It's really going to break him. And I don't even know how safe his family is right now. I'm talking about Abba Kyari, who is the Chief of Staff to the President President Muhammadu Buhari. We've been told that the president himself tested negative, but a lot of people are saying that they do not want to reveal what is actually happening. Now, the whole of Aso Rock has been ravished. If you listen to the news that we just read out to you, you will hear that even the vice president reported to work very late. Everyone is trying to stay away. So I think the right thing to do right now in Aso Rock is possibly to go in with some experts who are going to fumigate the whole environment to see how they can take away, the virus from Aso Rock, because even the vice president, for me, I believe, is also overly exposed. I was expecting that he will be self-isolated, because if you listen to the previous videos that we've done, especially in respect to that of Bala Muhammad, who is the first governor to be tested positive, who has tested positive to COVID-19, you will get to know that he was in attendance in one of the meetings where the vice president presided over, and from there he had interactions with other governors and the like. So with that in place, it therefore means that even the vice president may be a victim. He may test positive. And also for me, I feel that at this period, when it seems the whole place, it's really, in terrible health condition, it's not wise for anybody to enter that place, to enter into Aso Rock when it has not been fully fumigated. All staff should be put on a lockdown, and they should be self-quarantined or put them in a quarantine center so that they will not continually infect others. Someone like Femi Adesina, we've not heard anything about him. The loudmouth Loretta also, we've not also heard anything about him. This guy also, Shehu Gaba also, we've not heard of their test result, because I know very well that if they are all working together, being that this guy is chief of staff, he may have had one or two talks with them. He may have had, a state house meeting with them, and with all of that, virtually all of them may have been exposed. And right now, it's really, really serious. If the high and mighties have been affected, those who are low down here, I think we should adhere to instruction. Try to stay away from any form of gathering. This is the right time for you to hit the street, to hit the market, and get all what you need to use for the whole day. And make sure you go with your gloves, and don't mind what people are going to be saying on the street. It's not really important. What matters is who is going to come out of this whole thing alive, strong, and healthy without being infected. And for some of us who have people who have already been infected by this virus, I think try to build up their own immune system so that it will not destroy them, it will not kill them. It's quite a pathetic situation right now, so pathetic that everyone need to adhere to instruction. There need to be a lockdown for so many. But the most unfortunate part of this whole thing is the fact that people don't have money in Nigeria. Someone was responding yesterday when we brought up the case of this coronavirus, and the lady said that we should please stay back at home, that she is a health personnel in United Kingdom, that Nigerians should please stay back home. And I ask her a simple question, darling, it's a good response you're giving, it's a good comment, a good word, sentence you're just making, but let the truth be told, Nigeria is far different. Our system is different from that of United Kingdom. In Nigeria, we do not have such opportunity of enjoying ourselves to that level. It's so horrible and terrible that you have to work on a daily basis before you can enjoy. So right now, the issue of saying lockdown is really not going to work. And the wise decision that you have to take if you are in Nigeria is that you have to make everything available in your house so that at least for some while now, just stay off. Stop visiting. Social distancing is very, very important. And make sure you go with your fumigating your sanitizer, hand sanitizer. And for those of us who are very wealthy and who can support the environment that we come from, or maybe possibly your circle of influence, in any way that you can help them out. For example, some of these big churches that we have, Winners Chapel, Redeemed Church, Christ Embassy, and the likes. Why not just put it on the street for people to pass by and pick them up and be using it so that it can help prevent the issue? We should not make a merchandise of this whole thing. You understand? Making a merchandise of it clearly shows that we have no concept conscience. It clearly shows that we seem not to understand what the country is currently passing through. Now that it's almost clearing off those at the hem of a faith. Don't forget also that most of those people that we're talking about, like Abba Kyari and Bala Muhammad, who's the first governor who's gotten this stuff, and other person, they must have entered into vehicles. They must have entered into cars. Some of them have their personal drivers, which they have been interacting with. And guess what? Those drivers go back home to their own families. Some of them have aides. And those aides also have gone to their family, and before you know, it's spreading to different places. Most of those people, when they realize it's so obvious like that, most of them are going to take the next available bus out of Abuja to their own hometown and going to. Some of them may not be so conscientized not to interact with people in the bus, not to even make sure that they mask their faces and all of that. They may just sit down and be going through that trouble and that trauma that that is on them and all of that. And with that in place, it may be difficult for us to control it. So individually, we must learn to take precaution. It has happened to the top, and I know that right now it's going to flow downward. That's why I keep saying, please do not celebrate, do not get happy that these guys are contacting it. It makes no sense at all. Everybody should be on lockdown. Everybody should be praying seriously so that at least there can be a solution to this thing. It's staring at our faces, and don't begin to say that God is passing judgment on people and all of. Maybe God is doing all of that, but right now let's forget about the passing of judgment and see how we can protect ourselves and at least be one of those who will come out of all of these alive, strong, and well. And let's be so serious in our prayers that God should please provide a solution that will bring this whole issue to a standstill. That's where we are going to leave it. Go to our comment section. Let us interact. What's your position about what is currently going on, especially owing to the fact that it has invaded Aso Rock? I don't know how many people are free from the virus right now in Aso Rock.